In this section, we're going to be talking about what business strategy is and how we can use it within our organization to improve what we're doing and make key decisions about what it is that we're doing. Strategy is potentially one of the most overused words in business as a whole, and a lot of people use it without actually understanding what it is or what we develop a strategy for. In this section, we'll be giving you an introduction to business strategy and exactly what it is and why we use it. So what is business strategy? There are 4 key elements or 4 key components that go into a business strategy. That's number 1, planning. Number 2, projections or modeling, we sometimes call it. Number 3, decision making. And then number 4, ultimately increasing our organizational profits, or if we're a not-for-profit organization, increasing the value that we provide. So number 1, we spoke a lot about business planning in the business planning module that we just finished in module 1. The plan is the end goal, it's the overview. Business strategy needs a plan to work to, but ultimately it is the steps or the objectives that we spoke about in the business planning model towards that overview or that end goal. This is one of the major components of having a business strategy. You need to have a plan in place so that then we can start fleshing that out and creating a business strategy in order to get to that target or that end goal or aim. Number 2, projections, or as I said, sometimes called modeling. This is where we start creating the detail behind the strategy. Projections or modeling is something that we create. It's a tool and it's designed to show us the information that we need to know about our business. So if we're projecting forward and we're aiming towards the end goal, a projection really is taking a set of assumptions or taking a set of metrics and KPIs that we think that we're able to achieve, and it will illustrate what the end goal is essentially, or what the end profits are if we plan all of those metrics out. So that's a key thing when it comes to business strategy. You need to be able to have this tool in place so that then, moving on to the 3rd element of strategy, you can make key decisions about your organization. If you're able to put together a projection and amend the KPIs or the metrics within that projection or that business model, we can then start making some key decisions. These may be things such as when we need to add a new engineer into the mix in order to facilitate the extra or increased level of work that we're doing. This may be that we want to attempt this new marketing activity in order to increase our lead generation in this area. So there's various different decisions that we can make, but what business strategy is all about making those decisions, having the key information that we require so that then we can make those decisions. We're informed when we're making the decisions, and it's not a knee-jerk reaction or a gut feeling that we're basing those decisions on. It's well-formed information that we've put together. And then ultimately, number 4, all of these things are leading us up to increasing the profits of our organization. That's what this is all about. Putting together a strategy fundamentally is all about what we should do, what key decisions we should make in order to increase the profitability of our business. So this fundamentally is what business strategy is, and that's why it's so important that you have a business strategy and a clear view of your business moving forward so that you're able to make those decisions. So again, we're going to recap on why it's important to have a strategy. Number 1, decision making. Number 2, strengths and weaknesses. Number 3, efficiency. Number 4, control. And then number 5, measurement. So again, if we look at what business strategy is in its purest sense, it's all about decision making. That's number 1 here. Decision making is fundamentally what we will be doing as business leaders and business owners throughout our journey, working through our business plan and our end goal. The decision making is very much the difference between having a profitable organization and having an organization that is extremely inflated, it's bloated, it's not making any money. And essentially, we have always used the term running around and being a busy fool. That's not what you want to do. Having a strategy in place will mean that you are able to make key decisions towards achieving a more profitable organization. That's one of the key things and key benefits of having a business strategy in place. Number two, it very much shines a light on what our business strengths are and what our weaknesses are. Without a business strategy, it can sometimes be very difficult to understand exactly what our strengths are as a business and what our weaknesses are. You need to know these things so you can play to your strengths, you can play to your weaknesses or mitigate your weaknesses, and you can make decisions based upon what information that you have. That's another very important element to business strategy. It's another key reason that you should have a business strategy in place. Number three, efficiency. As I said, the key decisions that we have to make can lead us down a path of being bloated and inefficient, essentially, as an organization. We could be doing a huge amount of work for very little return. Without a business strategy, we don't know that that's happening necessarily. We could have a gut feeling that, we're overworking ourselves with very little profit, and it's a common mistake that a lot of small to medium-sized business owners, especially in the trade industry or the construction industry, make. Without a business strategy in place, it's so easy to make that mistake. So business strategy, again, it shines a light on where we can improve our efficiency, how we can improve our organization, where we can improve some elements in our business, and where we can find those all-important efficiencies that ultimately affect our bottom line or our profit in the organization. Number four, control. This is an overlooked element of business strategy. If we have a good strategy in place, one of the important aspects or one of the important benefits of having one in place is that we start to gain control of our organization. We can start managing the overall business, and we can identify some of those weaknesses. So it gives us that element of control. It's very good to know and understand all of the key metrics within your business, and control is something that we can easily lose sight of if we don't know or understand any of the metrics or important KPIs that we should be working to in our business. So a business strategy is really going to identify what those metrics are, and it's going to make sure that we have full control over them moving forward. And then number five, it gives us something to measure against. So how do we know, apart from having more cash in the bank at the end of the month, that we've done a good job? A good business strategy will give you something to measure against. And this is such a key element of business, again, that's overlooked. You really want to be putting all of your effort into improving your organization, improving you and improving your business. It's all about constant and never-ending improvement. This is something that we should all be seeking to achieve so that every day we're getting better. How do we know that we're getting better if we don't have a tool of measurement? That's what business strategy will do. It will give you something that you can measure against, something quantifiable that you can measure against from a KPI or a metrics perspective. Okay, just to overview then what components go into a business strategy. It's number one, objectives. You need to have those objectives in place so that you can start developing your business strategy to achieve them. Number two is modeling or projections. This is specifically a tool that we'll create in this module so that we can start mapping out how we're going to get there. Number three are the metrics or the KPIs that we've spoken about so many times. This is something that will be going into a business strategy and something that we'll be establishing, making assumptions on, and then trying to achieve. Number four is a SWOT analysis. We've spoken about this before. This is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is a key component of a business strategy so that you can understand what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, where your opportunities are, and what potential threats there might be. Number five is resource allocation plan. This is really important. You want to know that you're able to add resources into your business and it's going to be the correct decision at the right time. And then number six, it's measurement, so that we are measuring that we are making progress and that we're constantly improving what we do. We're seeking that all-important, constant and never-ending improvement.